Hello, everyone. I'm Natalia Bilbao, and here's what's happening in LA this week. Illegal wildlife trafficking is a global issue which has Los Angeles at its epicenter. A new network of agencies, including LA Zoo and law enforcement, will work together to combat the smuggling trade and illegal animal trafficking.
This morning here at the LA Zoo, we launched the Southern California Wildlife Confiscations Network, which is a program with the Association of Zoos and Aquariums and all of our law enforcement partners and our other zoo partners around the region.
And what we are doing is we are taking a big step in the battle against the illegal trafficking of wildlife, which is a multi-billion-dollar criminal enterprise globally. We often think of it as something that happens somewhere else, but it's a big problem here in the United States.
Up until this network existed, if an agent, is working midnight shift at LAX and somebody comes in with dozens of birds in a suitcase or strapped to their leg, he has to then figure out who to call. What if that zoo doesn't have capacity to take those animals in? Because that process really isn't efficient, Southern California Wildlife Confiscations Network as a model to streamline the whole process, and now that agent calls one person, and that one person knows exactly who to call in the network to say, oh, the LA Zoo, they have somebody who is an expert on this. Let's send that, that call to that location. They'll respond and save more animals, reduce the risk of disease transfer, which is a really big concern for us, and make the whole system more efficient.
So I think it's really important for people here in Los Angeles to know that your Los Angeles Zoo is doing this kind of work. We love to be here for the citizens of LA. We love for families to come out and explore all of our animals. And we also do a lot of this work behind the scenes. A lot of times we can't talk about these confiscations. So we really want people to know that we're doing everything we can to help animals globally.
When you come to a place like the Los Angeles Zoo, this is the kind of thing that your visit is supporting, to tackle one of the really most difficult issues in the world and help save animals from extinction.
Each letter of the sign is 50 feet high. It started as a real estate ploy to sell homes in the Hollywood Hills, and it's now an internationally recognized symbol of all things Hollywood. The sign spelling it out for us is now 100 years old. Cue the cake.
I am so delighted to be here today because we are going to be presenting a resolution in recognition of the 100th birthday of the Hollywood sign. The Hollywood sign is one of the most visited tourist attractions in the entirety of LA. It is a symbol of both Hollywood and Los Angeles. If you go across the world, that vision of the Hollywood sign has become really synonymous with the city of LA.
The Hollywood sign has really come to symbolize what LA stands for, and that's the fact that our community is a place of incredible personal freedom, where we really celebrate diversity and inclusion. And that's why guests from around the world really view the Hollywood sign as something that they aspire to visit because it represents what's best about our community and the endless possibilities that LA represents.
And so for me, making sure that we are preserving the sign, making sure that we're thinking about how people access the sign safely, and nestled as it is among a bunch of residential communities, making sure that tourists can get in and out without disturbing those residents and without creating a challenge for those communities, that's the challenge that we have to take on here in LA.
The Hollywood sign is just 9 letters on top of a hill that spells a word. What is that connection that they have? There's some kind of emotional bond that people come to our city to visit the Hollywood sign. The Hollywood sign is America. The America that we all dream of. It's the land of opportunity. It's the land where things can happen. And that's why we have so many people from around the world coming to see the Hollywood sign, to be reminded of what America is.
After 3 years closed, opening the doors again on a senior center is a joyous event for reconnection. LA's Department of Recreation and Parks joined the neighbors in Lincoln Heights to mark the reopening of the community's senior center.
This morning, we're here at the reopening of the Lincoln Heights Senior Center, which has been closed for over 3 years. What I'm most proud of is that it was our Lincoln Heights seniors who organized together to make sure that their cause for what would make their neighborhood better got to our office and pushed and gave us the support to make sure that we could reopen this place.
Lincoln Heights Senior Center has had a big history of doing many dances, trips, and classes. Some of the classes that we're going to be organizing are chair yoga, chair exercise, computer, smartphone 101, and we even have a morning walking club on Friday mornings.
We have over 100 seniors just here this morning, and they're really excited to be able to take dancing classes, art classes, music classes. They want to go on trips to the beach, to casinos. They want just to be joyful with each other. So I'm really proud that they helped us make this happen.
Seniors, after you are in retirement, it's important to continue the active lifestyle. When seniors walk into our senior center, they want them to know that they are welcomed here, they know people here, and they can continue to participate with a lot of positive energy.
Our community here in Lincoln Heights has a lot to look forward to. Right now, the senior center has been reopened, but hopefully at the end of this year or next year, the park next door is going to be opened. So this space is going to be intergenerational. It's not just going to be for seniors, it's going to be for families, it's going to be for kids and young people. And I think that's really special too, where we're not, breaking communities apart, but creating spaces where they can all be together.
LA's Department of Recreation and Parks operates 29 senior centers throughout the city. For more information on them, go to laparks.org. Reusable foodware is good for the planet, and now it can be good for business too. Microgrants from LA Sanitation are available to food operators who want to switch from single-use plastic. A Pacoima restaurant is leading the way and serving up some sustainability.
We're here in the community of Pacoima celebrating our first microgrant program that supports small businesses securing resources that allow them to cease use of single-use plastics that so often end up in our landfills.
So it all started we all got hit by the pandemic, COVID, and then, a lot of businesses, shut down and we only had to do to-go orders. So yeah, we spend a lot of money getting those styrofoam to-go containers, plates, utensils, but with this program, it's going to benefit us, save more money. It's a better presentation to our clients.
With this micro grant funding, $600,000, we need to have the small businesses in the disadvantaged areas especially apply for those monies. Those are the resources that are available right now.
We're just happy that the government is putting their effort, their time for the businesses in our city, that way we can all grow.
The end goal is multifaceted. It's providing the resources that allow them to invest in doing away with the single-use plastics, but it's also important to make sure that we're providing the proper incentive for people to change their thinking and their operations. And I think this has multiple benefits, both in support of the small businesses, but of course the environmental benefits are incredible.
An influx of information at this open enrollment time can leave Medicare recipients open to being scammed. The Center for Healthcare Rights is on hand to explain all aspects of Medicare Part D in a clear and unbiased way. Their advice is 100% free, and they are available throughout Los Angeles County.
The Center for Healthcare Rights is a nonprofit organization. We're coming up on our 40th anniversary, and we're here to help people navigate Medicare.
We serve all Medicare beneficiaries, including older adults and people with disabilities who live in the county of Los Angeles. We provide free Medicare counseling. We do that on a one-on-one basis through our telephone helpline. We also have volunteer counselors that are placed at senior centers and other community organizations throughout the county, literally anywhere from the Antelope Valley to Long Beach. We have someone in Duarte.
One of our popular calls is questions about benefits, Medicare, open enrollment periods, in which we refer to the Center for Healthcare Rights.
Right now, we are in the open enrollment period for Medicare Part D. Open enrollment goes from October 15th through December 7th, and this is the time of year when it's really important for folks to compare their drug plan options. We know that there are lots of TV commercials promoting Medicare Advantage plans. There's a lot of mail that comes in this time of year.
There's a lot of scams that are out there. And unfortunately, older adults are very vulnerable to that. So being informed, getting the chance to speak to experts who can talk to them about what are their benefits and give them unbiased information is great.
Our services are 100% free. We do not charge anything for our one-on-one counseling. One option is to go to our website, which is healthcarerights.org. Another option is to call us at 1-800-434-0222.
We try to be everywhere, but if we haven't reached you yet, please call us or go to our website, and we'll be glad to help you understand and navigate the Medicare program.
City Council adds $12 million to emergency rental assistance. LA City Council honors Native American Heritage Month, and Mayor Bass expands Circle program. These stories up next on City Beat.
In a boost to tenants and small landlords, Los Angeles City Council will add $12 million to its funding for the short-term Emergency Rental Assistance Program. Renters and small landlords or housing providers can qualify for up to 6 months of back rent arising from an economic hardship since March of 2020, such as COVID. The $12 million was approved by LA City Council on condition that those funds would prioritize seniors and people with disabilities in a low-income bracket. A total of $30.4 million will go into short-term rental aid, part of $150 million funded by Measure ULA. For more information on renters' supports in Los Angeles, visit housing.lacity.org. Los Angeles City Council marked November as Native American Heritage Month by honoring the history, culture, and legacy of the Native American community. Members of the Los Angeles City and County Native American Indian Commission joined Councilwoman Monica Rodriguez at City Hall and said many Native American stories remain untold. Sac and Fox Cherokee member Roberta Javier was honored with the Spirit of Community Award for her work supporting Native American foster children. For more information, visit lanaic.lacounty.gov. Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass announced the expansion of the Crisis and Incident Response through Community-Led Engagement, or CIRCLE program, into Sherman Oaks. CIRCLE is a 24/7 program which sends out mental health professionals and others with lived experience to nonviolent Los Angeles Police Department calls. CIRCLE began as a pilot program in Hollywood and Venice in 2022 and has since expanded to downtown, South LA, and other parts of the San Fernando Valley. The program operates under the Mayor's Office of Community Safety and supports non-punitive safety strategies as well as nonprofit organizations addressing public safety. For further information, visit mayor.lacity.gov.
Twenty-Fourth Street Theater hosted its annual Dia de los Muertos festival on Hoover Street. This cultural and spiritual celebration attracted the crowds, the council members, and a certain celebrity. Take a look.
Today we're at the 24th Street Theater for our 18th annual Dia de los Muertos celebration.
not just a celebration or a party, it's really a spiritual event where we remember the loved ones that we've lost.
Es importante que la gente sepa que nuestra cultura se puede venir a celebrar y que nuestros concejales los apoyan y venir a disfrutar la celebración de Día de los Muertos y más que nada recordar a sus seres queridos.
This is our 18th annual Dia de los Muertos celebration. We have food, we have face painting, you can build an altar in our cemetery. One of the most authentic Dia de los Muertos celebrations in town. And it's free for the community.
Well, Dia de los Muertos is a special holiday that I first experienced actually in Oaxaca, Mexico. That was an incredible experience where the whole community marched together through the streets of Oaxaca all the way to the cemetery, where it turned into this wonderful party and celebration of their past relatives and friends and family when people were eating delicious foods and dancing. And I was like, I wish we had this in America, and here we are getting a taste of Dia de los Muertos in Los Angeles, so it's really special. I'm looking forward to dancing a little bit, eating a little bit, and hanging out with my bestie. Also, like to give a shout out to Jay, get in here, Deb's hubby. They work together on this incredible event and all things together. You guys are an incredible dynamic duo.
And you know, we should really thank the council district, because it wouldn't be
CD1, CD8.
CD8.
That's why we're this big. That's why movie stars want to hang out with us.
Yeah, your support.
That and
Thank
churros.
you so much.
A remarkable exhibition, Looking Closely Together, features Joan Agajanian Quinn portraits on paper. Quinn is the subject of the portraits, all of which were gifted to her over the years by the artists, making for a unique and educational showcase of creative work.
We're at Center for the Arts Eagle Rock, and this is the opening of Looking Closely Together, Joan Agajanian Quinn portraits on paper. This is a real honor because this is a collection of Joan Quinn's works on paper, and she's a legendary art collector. And the fact that our organization can put on a show like this is so meaningful to me as the executive director of Center for the Arts Eagle Rock and the curator of this exhibition.
I think when Melinda curated this collection of portraits of me, she looked for work that was on paper, because when we do this after-school education, the children will be working with paper and they'll be able to see how you can put a portrait on paper in different mediums. The other thing that I think that's so great is that this is a part of the education of the Eagle Rock schools here. So I'm really happy to be doing this.
We want to grow the next generation of artists, and we want to be a cultural safe space for people to live their dreams and make their dreams through art.
I created a portrait of Joan Quinn 32 years ago, and this watercolor is a more recent work of art. And it was such a pleasure, and it's always been a pleasure to work with Joan Quinn to create her portrait. She's an absolute icon here.
You'll see work here by artists who have passed on, and it's so touching to me to see that they drew me and did my portrait when they were still with me and friends of mine. Everything in here was a gift. All these artists wanted to be a part of the collection, and they gifted these portraits to me over the years.
This exhibit's fun for me because I'm an abstract painter asked to do a portrait, and thoroughly enjoyed doing it because it was someone I love, and I think you'll really enjoy the show. There's a lot of great portraits here by a lot of really good artists, so come down and take a look.
What started as an arts and theater project in London is now taking to the streets around the world. Little Amal represents a 10-year-old girl, a refugee looking for home. She is on tour and has already traveled through Europe, across the US and is now visiting a number of places in LA.
Little Amal, who's a 12-foot puppet traversing all of the nation, and she's stopping by here at the Pueblo at Olvera Street to coincide with Dia de los Muertos, and she really represents the plight of refugees from around the world. That she happens to be here during a special moment for us is really amazing.
She's operated by 3 individuals who make her work, but she is a 10-year-old girl from Syria who represents migrants and immigrants who are looking for home and sanctuary.
But we also have a long history of hosting immigrants, refugees, exiles from around the world. There's always been a place where people who are in need gather and get services and resources.
This whole project started as a theater and artistic project to bring attention to this issue through art and theater. She was commissioned by a theater in London. She was built in South Africa at Handspring Puppet Theater and started on the border between Syria and Turkey and started walking across Turkey, walked and did performances like this all across Europe. And about 2 months ago, she started in Boston. She's going to make 8 stops in LA, and then she goes to San Diego, crosses the border, and goes all the way to the Guatemalan border.
She's visiting several important cultural sites in Los Angeles, and you can't pass up El Pueblo and Olvera Street as an important cultural site for her to visit and to really understand who we are as a city, but also our own history of hosting people and really helping people, both Angelinos and people who are visiting us.
In this week's feature story, Councilwoman Heather Hutt speaks to our Anita Bennett about her selection in Council District 10, the local election in 2024, and her key objectives for the neighborhoods she leads.
In September 2022, the City Council confirmed Heather Hutt to represent Council District 10. Now, she has since been reappointed until 2024 to complete the term left vacant by former council member Mark Ridley Thomas. Now, a year into the job, we're checking in with Councilwoman Hutt to discuss progress in CD10. Councilwoman Hutt, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Anita.
I think the big question people want to know is, are you going to run for re-election?
I am going to run for election because I was selected.
Yes.
So now this is an election. And I like my job. I feel like there's so much work to do, and I want to be there to do more work. Mm-hmm. And in doing that, I must run.
You say there's a lot of work to do. What are your future plans?
So we have to really work on what we've started already. Operationalizing renter protections, making sure that people are not evicted. We have to also build more affordable housing so that we have options. We have a low inventory. People don't have options, and that's why the rent's so high. I've also moved another significant amount just into street tree services. Trees hadn't been cut in 7 years. So when we had our heavy rain and wind, we didn't have all the fall down onto vehicles and buildings like other districts have. And so common sense, basic services are really important in this district. We have unarmed response that'll be coming through my transportation committee. I would love to be a part of bringing in an unarmed response for people that are driving and, their taillights out. Do they really need to have armed response to that? Or their tags are expired. Do they really need to have a police officer pulling them over? So I'm excited to see what that report back looks like and to do some work to implement.
So it sounds like there's a lot going on. What's it been like for you? Because before you were behind the scenes, you worked for the council member and you also worked for former Senator Kamala Harris. So what's it been like making that transition?
Moving from being in the weeds to moving to being the principal is very different. And it's taken a year for me to get comfortable in letting staff do their work. It's different, but I love it. So
That's good.
Getting used to it.
Okay, that makes sense. Well, Councilwoman Heather Hutt, thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you.
here and discussing these issues with us.
In this week's Things to Do, experience LA Zoo Lights Animals Aglow, catch the Pershing Square tree lighting, and visit South LA Veterans Day celebration and car show. All this up next on Things to Do.
Join LA's wildest holiday tradition at the LA Zoo. Explore an immersive landscape filled with dazzling new lantern sculptures. See animal art among blooming flowers and towering trees, and much more in this nature-focused holiday celebration. This year's experience features all new seasonal wonders, including magical winter wildlands, glowing ice crystals, snow-loving animals, views of the northern lights, and plenty of spectacular photo spots. Celebrate the season with LA Zoo's not-to-be-missed holiday adventure. Get tickets to LA Zoo Lights Animals Aglow, starting at 6 p.m. November 17th through January 7th. For schedule and more information, go to lazoo.org. Kick off the festive season at the Pershing Square tree lighting. Council District 14 and LA's Department of Rec and Parks celebrate the start of the holiday season in a magical winter wonderland. Dating back to 1949, the Pershing Square tree lighting is a long-standing introduction to the holiday season in the city. Enjoy food, art, entertainment, and special guests alongside the backdrop of LA's impressive skyline. Don't miss the Pershing Square tree lighting on Thursday, November 16th, starting at 5 p.m. This free event is open to all ages. For more information, see laparks.org/Pershing Square. The U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs, the City of Los Angeles, and Council District 9 are proud to host the South LA Veterans Day celebration and car show. This free family-friendly event includes live music, kids' activities, vendors, resources for veterans, and a car show you'll only see in South LA. Bring the entire family to the South LA Veterans Day celebration and car show at the South Park Recreation Center on Saturday, November 18th. Events start at 10 a.m. For more information, visit cd9.lacity.gov/calendar. And that's a look at some things to do.
And that's all for this edition. I'm Natalia Bilbao, and from all of us here at LA This Week, thank you so much for joining us. You can watch us online anytime at lacvu.org, and we're also on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube. See you next time for more LA This Week.